What's up, guys? It's Specialistly on Steadfast Courage. Remember to like, comment, subscribe to Steadfast Courage. And today I'm gonna make a video about camouflaging your weapon without using spray paint. Alright? Let's say we're out in the middle of nowhere. We don't have time to spray paint the rifle, or you're evading an enemy or evading people, or you're hunting. Either one. Evading, hunting, pretty much this is for evading tactics only. We're not doing it for attacking a enemy or hunting. Well, yeah, you can do it for hunting, of course. But hunting, all you're gonna do is one shot, one kill. We're not gonna be shooting multiple rounds, and we're not doing none of that. We're not constantly moving and shooting, scooting. What about shooting, scooting? Yeah, we could do shooting, scooting with this one. Shooting and scooting with this setup. Shoot and evade somewhere else, then shoot, evade somewhere else. We're not getting in a full-blown gunfight with this bad boy, with this setup. So what you're gonna need is netting, camouflage netting. This is very good for breaking up sharp objects, good for breaking up the human silhouette, good for a lot of stuff. So pretty much what you want to do is break up your silhouette, be it a rifle, be it your head, and be it anything that this thing can wrap around. We're gonna need one of these. You can buy these on Amazon. They're very cheap. They're like 10 bucks, something like that. I can't quite remember, but it should pop up 10 bucks somewhere on there. Then we're gonna need boot blasters. Pretty much boot blasters. If you don't know what boot blasters are, and you're in the military, you know what they are. You pretty much blast your boots with these things. We're gonna need some of these, or we can use different types of netting. This is bigger netting. I mean, I wouldn't recommend this. This is for another project, but we can use this one. We can use multiple color nettings. We can use this netting. I like these nettings. They really make it seem like you're a secret squirrel when you're moving around. And camouflage magazine. You can go with something not camouflage, but it's up to you. It's not me, it's you. Remember that. Be you, don't be me. Alright, so what I got here is a simple AR-15. Alright, what I got on my AR-15 is the Razor AMG, the Vortex Razor AMG UH1. I made a video about this one. You can check it out if you want. It's up to you. Give me views, baby. And pretty much what you want in this setup, specifically for this setup. Let's say you're evading, right? And you're slowly moving along, and something bad happens. You run into a tight spot.
There, we're in a tight spot.
There's always a tight spot, remember that. You're running in a tight spot, and you need to engage, or you're hunting, and you need to shoot the animal. This is the perfect setup for one shot, one kill. What I like about having a razor on this thing is that it's a red dot, holographic sight. You can actually see through this sight with this netting on. We got them right in our sight. It's pretty boss, I really like it. There's several ways you could skin this cat, right? You could either you can just throw the netting on like that, and it works pretty good. It breaks up the pattern of a rifle. A person can recognize anything just like that, especially if they know it, if they've been trained to see anything, or just people can recognize things. People can figure out what you're doing, where you're at, if you're not smart enough to evade. So pretty much what we want to do is break this up, right? Break up the pattern of this rifle so it doesn't look like a rifle, it just looks like another scrub brush or something. That's the objective of this little video that I'm making. Of course, depending on the terrain and environment, you can use this one or you can use this one. So I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna do it, alright? So check it out. Alright, remember, this is for the situation where you're not prepared, you have no spray paint, you don't have time to spray paint, and things aren't going your way. But we got a camouflage magazine, it really helps. You got no rounds in the magazine, we're clear, and it's camouflage. The bad part about having netting is it gets caught on everything. It's really annoying. And that's why you need to keep it tight. Keep the netting tight so it doesn't get caught in everything. And remember the flashlight, we got our flashlight on this thing. So we're gonna have to make sure we have the flashlight covered because we're moving in the daytime. And anything that flashes, you can see for miles. We're covering up the flashlight really good. And we're gonna use the boot blousings to clip it. Make sure you see how flashy these damn things are. Either paint it black, paint it black, or paint it OD green. And if you don't have time to paint them OD green, make sure they're covered like that. You see how the clip is, or the hook is under where you can't see it? Just like that, my guys. You want to double wrap the gangster grip. Just like that. And we're gonna wrap it right around the trigger. See that? Just like that. See how it's hooked up? Just nice and tight. Tight like a tiger. And now we're gonna do buttstock. Keep in mind you want to adjust your buttstock exactly how you want it. And with the brass can eject, no problem. Then again, we got the brass, we got loose right there, so the brass can eject. Just in case you need to engage your target with this on. And we don't want to cover this. We can, we should, but in case we need to engage a target, instead we get in one of those tight spots. So there you go, pretty simple. We're gonna make sure we only have one layer of netting on top of our sights. That way we can look through our holographic sights. And as you can see, I didn't cover the barrel. We should cover the barrel. The barrel is important, especially if we're evading. We're gonna do that in a second, but we really wanna focus on breaking up the pattern of the weapon. As you can see, I can still get to the trigger right there. It's pretty nifty. I can still look through the sights. And I can still engage a target with this holographic sight. That's why it's important to have a holographic sight for this or a red dot for this situation. I got some netting. We're gonna use this netting. Keep in mind, you're not gonna be firing 1,000 rounds through this. The key is to evade. We're not engaging any targets. We're not doing anything like that. We're not doing anything like attacking anybody. We're evading, hiding, and we're not gonna make a peep, all right? Remember, because if we start firing this thing, this is gonna melt onto it. You don't want any of that happening. Your friggin' netting right here is gonna melt onto it. And eventually you're gonna have a malfunction because this net is at the ejection port. And if you ever fired anything, fired a weapon, anything in the way of this ejection port, this is gonna mess up injecting the round. You're gonna have a malfunction. Remember that. So we're gonna use this. So there we go. We got ourselves a camouflage rifle without spray painting. It only took like what? A few minutes, especially if you know what you're doing. And a lot of these blousers. I like using these blousers because they're already camouflaged. They're OD green already. You don't have to do anything to them except for the hook. I'm gonna spray paint these bad boys later. This is a little demonstration of what we can do with these simple objects, you know. The best thing to do in these situations is be creative, you know. There's a lot of things you can do. Just be open-minded, creative, and if you want, you can check out the Ranger Handbook. It helps a lot. Ranger Handbook is obviously a handbook in tactics, evasion, how to do things, simple stuff like that. Common sense, pretty much. Ranger Handbook is about common sense. Anything military-wise is all about common sense. Like for example, this weapon. We don't have a honeycomb on this razor, so what we're gonna do? We're gonna build our own honeycomb, or we're gonna construct our own honeycomb, or we're gonna cover it with a netting right here. Because one little glare catches the human eye. A glare is unnatural to nature. You're never gonna see glare through nature. It's all man-made. So that's why we cover this up. Or we could just work harder at covering this up if you want to be extremely camouflage. We can do that. But keep in mind, let's say we're in a bad spot. We still gotta engage a target. So it's best to have it available so you can actually aim. I'm gonna show you how it looks through the sights. Even with the netting on, you can still see through them. It's pretty nice. As you can see, we got a bad guy right there. There he is, pointing the gun right at us. And now we're gonna look down our holographic sights. We can still see the target, see that? Pointing right at him. We got him right in our sights. So we can still engage the target with these on. As you can see, very simple to accomplish. Breaks up everything, breaks up a rifle, breaks up the sights, just makes you look invisible depending on the environment. You can also add, there's a lot you could do with this, right? There's a lot. You can add local vegetation to it if you want, just to make it more camouflage, make it look invisible. You can do a lot. And also, if you want, you can give it a good paint job. If you guys want me to do a paint job on this rifle and set it up for evasion tactics, make sure you comment below. I'll be glad to do such a thing. I already got the paint, so I'm already there. I just need the motivation, and you guys will motivate me to accomplish that. But yeah, pretty good setup. No problemo, guys. It's pretty simple. Any idiot could do it. It ain't rocket science. It ain't hard. It ain't. You just gotta have the right equipment, blousters, rubber bands, anything that can cover this thing up correctly. So it doesn't sag. You don't want anything saggy. See how tight this is? I can move it around. It doesn't fall off. I don't have to readjust. Everything's just tight. Make sure you keep it tight, make it right. And remember, guys, this is about evasion. We're not attacking anybody. Don't take out to the range like this and start spraying bullets all over the range, because it's gonna melt. Don't be stupid. You can fire maybe 1 or 2 rounds. That's it. Then get the cover. Start taking all this stuff off, just in case you get in a good gunfight. You never know. I hope you guys thought this video was helpful. Maybe if you guys are going to sniper school, just doing your own thing, training on your own time, learning how to evade, learning how to camouflage your equipment. This is one of the good ways to do it without spray painting. If you don't want to destroy your lovely black bluing on this thing, this is one way to do it, so it doesn't mess up your bluing. Let's say you're one of those guys who doesn't want to spray paint anything on it. This is a good way to camouflage your weapon without spending a ton of cash on spray paint. It ain't that much, but it starts to add up after a while. Especially if you don't know how to spray paint. I'll show you how to do it. Just make sure you comment below if you want to see that. I like to thank my family. Without them, I wouldn't be able to do any of this stuff. So my dad taught me a lot about this stuff. I'm just a simple infantryman. Infantry doesn't really teach you about any of this stuff. Unless you look at the Ranger handbook, then yeah, they teach you about that. But simple stuff like blousters, you know? Who knew you could use a blouster without someone showing you or telling you? Stuff like that, simple stuff. You know, simple stuff goes a long ways, fellas. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to Steadfast Courage. Remember, peace through fire superiority, especially out. And as always, vote Republican.